generation. So again, want to welcome you, and after this short break, we'll be bringing you our two guests, and she is followed by Narisha Minimum. They'll be introducing themselves as soon as we come back. So keep watching. This is Youth Insight.
Hi, I'm Prince Larmin Jarbo, founder of Project Change. As an organization, our mission is to groom self-sustaining youth to help rebuild a productive Liberia. We change the mindsets of the youth from one that says I cannot to one that believes I can. We're proud to sponsor the Youth Insight on KMTV presented by Zach Sherman because we also believe in creating a platform for the young people to voice themselves. If you would like to learn more about what we do and how we do it and how you can join the movement, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Pro Change in Liberia. Or you can also visit our website at prochangeinliberia.org. That's PROCHANGEIN Liberia. Until next time, enjoy the show.
And we'd like to highlight that our sponsorship doors are still open. Youth Insight is still open up to sponsorship, partnership, and you are willing to come on board so that we can make a common ground to our one country as it relates to young people. It is still open. You can just contact us as +321 7700 Again, it's +3. That's 231-770-01-7702. You can contact us, and of course our doors are still open. And we'd like to say thanks to Pro Change, that's Project Change, headed by Prince Java in the USA. And this guy is doing well when it comes to a level of organization, and all the young guys who are coming on board to make sure the impacts of young people are felt, not just in Liberia, but the rest part of our one global village. So again, we're here with Agrotech Liberia, and of course, specifically Youth in Agriculture Incubation Center, and they are involved into how they can put on the jackets of young people interested in coming to the agriculture sector, and something that is welcoming. And they are here with us to tell us more about what is on their plate or what they have in their closet for young people when it comes to agriculture. So we want to welcome you guys to KMTV.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Zach. I want to say it's a good opportunity to be here to share.
I didn't start with you because the ladies.
Okay.
Please allow.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Okay.
Once again, I'm Narisha Malemo. I'm from the volunteer arm of Agrotech Liberia.
Someone speaking like Grebo?
Imano.
Oh man, wow! I thought you speak Imano. I mean, you transcend the message Imano.
No problem.
Okay, maybe you can speak to the Imano too. I mean, yeah, no problem.
D'ailleurs aussi Agrotech mo combien de temps pour make ko ke mi atiere ke le ipiamo I di ke mi ka sebe de ipiamo I ya ke ba ge o go me ya bo nu le kan ti an pere ke ipiamo I ti ba ya bo ke de I do pere ke I ti ke ya.
Wow. I mean, I'm so amazed. Don't say against people that do. Are we? Okay. I mean, it's so amazing. Let's talk to you. Tell us the people who you are and who is Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan S. Stewart is a lead campaigner for Agrotech Liberia, otherwise known as Youth Agriculture Incubation Center.
Okay.
And I'm the lead campaigner, making sure that I work with young people that will make impact in the green space, and also to rebrand the word agriculture to our young generation so that it becomes something that can change our lives and also contribute towards the economic development of our country.
Okay, contribute to the economic development of our country. Let's go back to our lady. The lady before Jeremy will still continue at this path. Let's understand how it takes. First of all, what made you interested in going to agriculture as a young lady and helping to bring forth another set of young ladies who will come on board to help Liberia when it comes to agriculture?
Thank you, Zach. Well, my interest in going to the agricultural field was June when my parents and I started with our backyard garden, and then we started moving on. When I first came to start my school process, after high school, what I decided to do was nursing, which of course I started then later. I decided to switch, and that which where I find myself now, I'm very pleased. I have interest, and with my with working with my executive director, he has the charisma, the ability of a good leadership. He's imparting knowledge to young people, that which is good. He gave us the words of encouragement that you don't have to sit to be employed. You can become your own employer and you make your own money, and also you employ other people. That which is a very good idea.
As a leader coming out, breaking ideas to young people when it comes to agriculture, how's it been like for you coming on board? Maybe you want to incubate your counterparts, maybe ladies as well. Despite you go into the men, helping men, bringing men on board. But specifically, how is it like for women or girls in Liberia coming into agriculture?
Well, thank you once again. For women coming on board in the agriculture sector is very important. Like when I graduated from the university, I really didn't have the practical knowledge. But coming on to Agrotech Liberia, I have grown, passion. I have had the practical knowledge, that which I can boast of now.
Wow.
And my father is always calling upon me to give him some idea when it comes to farming, that which is also good and it's a plus for me also. I would like to encourage my fellow females that agriculture, most people take it to be a dirty work, that which we know is not a dirty work. You can also become your own boss. You start from nowhere to go to somewhere.
Of course.
Most people looking at our country right now, you don't have to sit to say, I got to be paid. I'm a volunteer, I'm not being paid. But I have the passion and I know that tomorrow
You're gonna get.
I'm going to get a benefit from what I'm doing.
How do you work in? Let's keep it at that. We'll come to you before our friends here. We want to talk to you. And I have a person we say now. We're going to talk to you. Okay, so let's get to you. What really led to your inspiration coming up with this unique idea of yours to invest in agriculture, exert your efforts, your own limited efforts into agriculture? What led to your inspiration?
Zach, actually, if you are a patriotic Liberian, it will hurt you to know that most of what we consume as a people, 75 to 80% are imported. Which means that we are making other farmers in other countries rich and richer, and we are getting poor. And we expect ourselves to graduate from poverty when we are not involving ourselves into things that can contribute to our own human growth and economic growth as well. So I feel that if Liberians need to graduate from poverty to prosperity, as we all claim or want to, and all of the jargons, the poverty reduction, all those things can happen if we put our hands in the sector that has the potential to help. And I've discovered that the agriculture sector has the potential because we have the abundance of resources that we need to grow. Like we have arable land, 6 million hectares of arable land that we can grow. We have 2 climatic conditions that help and support our crops, agriculture. We also have a population full of young people who have the energy to also help, to make us to feed ourselves and also export to other countries. So if we sit back and say we cannot get involved because we are too young, that means we are prepared to make our country to go into something called food insecurity that also break down our national security. So that got moved by the statistics coming through that Liberia is among the global hunger index with 34%.
And that's something.
That's something. That means we are in the red. Yes. So what can we do? First, what I thought was, if we must make achievement when it comes to food production or agricultural growth, we must first tackle the young people. So what can we do? We can develop a platform that can rebrand agriculture to the taste and the likeness, the mindset, the perception of young people that they can get involved when it comes to business, they can get involved when it comes to self-employment, they can also get involved when it comes to employment with other institutions. So we, like me, I have a passion, I have developed a passion to make sure that young people will become leaders in the agriculture sector, wherein their investment will make them to become millionaires, the investment will make them to become employers, the investment will make them to be leaders or stakeholders in our society. And the agriculture sector has the potential to do that.
So what has been your really I mean, your actual taste. Maybe you drag into this.
Yeah.
You making yourself known to the people, to the young people into agriculture. What has really been your taste in getting young people, or has it been a receptional, idea to young people since you've been involved in it?
Actually, the perception of agriculture generally in Africa is that it's something of the poor people, and something that that promising young men like me. If I tell you my story, when I decided to join in the green sector, people look, I said, brilliant man like you, why should you go in that sector? You should be doing something like this, something like that. I said, no, this is something that needed brilliant people, because brilliant minds are needed to feed us. Yeah. So it has not been an easy thing, actually. Like if you go and tell somebody, say you have to go to the university and study agriculture and become one of the food scientists, become a scientist that will be able to develop so many things through the agricultural value chain to help boost our economies. They will actually not get that early. It will take you time, and it will also involve you coming up with ideas that will set different picture than the normal picture that we know. The traditional picture is agriculture is for poor people. It's for the abandoned people. It's for the people who are in the rural community who don't have anything, they don't have any education. And that is not the case. That should not be the case. Agriculture is a sector that we can innovate and bring an idea that can solve problems, because there are so much problems in the agriculture sector that young people, wherever your background you come from, you can innovate, you can bring an idea and solve the problem and make some money. Yes. So to put that message across is not easy, but we are gradually making it, and with so many platforms that we have used to share the information with our young colleagues, that we reach out to schools, organizing events, organizing training, and reaching out in the rural communities, and letting know our young people who are there that what you are involved into is nothing like you are downtrodden. It's something like a professional work that you are doing, and you're supposed to get paid for it, depending on how you think of it, depending on how you make use of it.
I start with MF Gap is one of the newest international partners coming on board to help Liberia when it comes to boosting its forest sector.
Okay.
And when it comes to forest move, where agriculture is also involved as well, because Liberia has a wide range of forests, different kinds of forests, and within those forests you have agricultural activities taking place. And when I saw the percentage of women.
Yeah.
Where it has a rise of 80% according to their statistics, and something I think was kind of a welcoming. But do you consider those kind of trends, whereas women who people take as a backbone to agriculture can be able to provide much more into what you are doing? Have you been able to take a stand on that?
Actually, the statistics says that smallholder farmers, or let's say family farmers, produce about 80% of the food we consume. And then among that number, we have about 80% of women also involved, which is true. The women are actually involved, like in the rural communities, the women are the ones who actually make agriculture to happen. And even in the agribusiness value chain, we understand that even to get a plate of food on your table today, women have to put in a lot of things, which that's the case.
Okay.
So if we want to empower women, if we want to change the lives of women, one of the ways to do it is through the agriculture value chain, through the agriculture sector. Because they are involved into that, they are making a living through that. So if you want to empower them, empower what they are doing, empower it. Empower agriculture, give them the skills they need. This is what we do. We don't have the financial resources, but we give them the skills. We give them the climate smart agricultural practices and skills they need, so that they can be able to grow within the midst of climate change and climate situation, and be able to produce and continue to feed their family, so that if they live, the livelihood can still improve.
How does it look like? Look like when you see women becoming volunteer, whereas you as an executive director, as a lead campaigner to agriculture, to young people getting in the field of agriculture, how does it feel working with women, specifically volunteer? How does it look?
First, if I look on my team, if I look in the field and I see young people working, especially women, it means that we are getting there. Because women are noted to be, or thought to be in the back, and things like these that other young people look down upon, they should not associate themselves with it. So one of the targets that we have is to make sure that we give the young people, especially women, because if women actually get involved and empowered in agriculture, they will have a voice. because they will be able to make money on their own. Like some of my volunteers, they are making the kaya barley, they grow some other things, and then they sell it, and they contribute towards the welfare of the family. They get respect and dignity for that, which we need to encourage.
Let's talk to Narisha. I hope I still getting your new.
Yeah.
Okay. You've been a lady involved in agriculture with the involvement of your executive director, Jonathan, and you as a woman, maybe you might not be the one, but at least taking control when it comes to agricultural activity. I mean, how are you helping to make your colleagues more interested when it comes to agriculture? Whereas maybe a lot of women or Liberian girls will not want to do agriculture. They feel like you've been saying, it's dirty work. Yeah, I want to fix my nails. I want to get my hair plaited. I want to get the best of makeups and other things. I mean, trying to change that kind of a narrative. What are you really doing as a lady to bring young women on board when it comes to agriculture?
Thank you, Zach. Like sometimes I always told people, you can become your own boss. Like even in my yard, I do my own brushing. And sometimes when I'm brushing my yard, people say, oh, you act like a man. And I agree, I take that. Because I can say that we say anything men do, we can do the same. So we have to do everything positively to impact our own lives.
Okay.
We have to do everything possible. Like, so my advice to my young people, the girls, agriculture is not something dirty. Agriculture is not a poor, as poor as we term it to be. It's something that you build up yourself, and you have a good working relationship with people. You sell yourself to the market, and then you do a lot of things positively that you can be respected as a woman.
So when we look at the percentage of women doing agriculture in the field of agriculture at a practical level, at a theory level, maybe college or universities, when we look at the percentage of women into agriculture, we can squarely say it's low. If you come up with that narrative, do you have anything in your plan? Maybe you want to reach out to your director. Can we make move to various universities, various high schools, encouraging maybe women, young boys and girls having interest in the agriculture, which you guys believe that is a vineyard of making the economy a boostful one? Can you people really drive into that to make sure other guys are encouraged or trying to know the importance of agriculture like you people do?
Yes. Like we have our taking agriculture to the various high schools program, that which we are involved with, and then we have series of trainings that which we invite students from the various universities and the various high schools to come and be a part, and they train them, make them to know that you can become a better citizen with your impact in the agriculture sector. You can make it a better one.
How's it been since you've been doing it? Let's talk to our executive director, the lead campaigner for agriculture. Young people getting into agriculture, and I see you smile like you have more work to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to do.
Wow.
The penetration is slow, but with our own commitment and passion, we can make it happen, and we will get there. It's actually difficult to tell young people who are sitting and waiting on government to say my government is coming to give me job to be working at the Ministry of Finance. It's difficult to tell them that you can have some other alternative employment opportunity through the agriculture sector. It's difficult, but what we have been doing is that we are actually been engaging people from different fronts, like on social medias. You will see our young girls into agriculture and farming thing, looking sexy, looking good, and looking beautiful. Or you see them on the farm, you see them with the crops, you see them playing with the crops. So that is another campaign of attracting young people to the sector, and that is working as well. And we always organize series of events in Monrovia and also outside Monrovia. It's intended to bring people, and then we expose them
What kind
to
of
the
events?
Like covered last month, November, we were in Kakata. In Kakata, we had an event called Youth Agriculture and Agribusiness Forum. It brought together young students from high school. They also brought together students from the BWI, from Kakata, even from Monrovia. They all gathered there. And some of the things we did there, we did some presentation, giving an overview of the agriculture sector, looking at the potential areas, like the aquaculture, where you can do fish farming, That they don't have an idea about that.
That's
But-
one
but
thing.
I told them that in Liberia, the combined meat content or combined meat content that we consume is more, and the one we produce is less. So if you look at that, that is a potential investment opportunity. If you also look at the rest we consume, the rest we consume, about 75% is imported and 25% is what produced right here. So that means it's an opportunity for young people or whoever to invest. And that investment opportunity is there for all of us. So if you expose the people to the kind of information and statistics, what it does, it makes them to believe that, oh, I'm sitting waiting for a job, but this is somewhere that I can go right now. So it is about preparing people to take upon their career activity in that direction, or also exposing them to the information that can make them to be lured to the agriculture sector.
So with these activities you're coming up with, how has it been? Maybe have you had a lot of interest? You want to have forums, you want to have workshop seminars for young people. Do you, with the interest, if possible, do you also consider people who are non-agriculture students or non-agriculture minded?
In fact, our target is also mostly concerned about people who are not agriculturists, who are not agriculture students, because we need them more. People who are there already, what they need is their capacity building. We need to build a capacity to have the new skill, the new technology to be able to increase their production. But people who are not there are needed more because our production is low. In all sectors, all of what we produce, the production is low and it needs to be increased. How can it be increased? By attracting people, attracting policies in that direction as well, and also attracting people investment. And some of the investment is to make sure that our children understand the dynamics of agriculture from the high school levels. They need to understand what it takes to feed a nation and how important are farmers to this nation.
How do you
For
take
example,
this?
if all the farmers go on strike now, do you know what happens? It is a threat to our national security. Even the best soldier in the armed forces.
Don't
cannot
forget
do
our
anything about
input.
that.
Maybe they will say,
I know.
was their input?
I know, yeah, we can still import. But what happened during the Ebola time? The Guinea border was closed. Sierra Leone border was closed. Who are we depending on to bring food in?
Ourselves.
Okay, good. So at certain point, you saw some people started to go to Puerto Rico behind it because Puerto Rico price started to increase, the pepper, everything started to increase, right? So some people started going to the backyard. That means that if, for instance, something happens in Guinea right now where we take bulk of our perishable food from, like pepper, bitter ball, ginger, ground peas, all of those things, we take most of them from there. Go to Guinea border in Nimba and stand there. Every minute you have 2-3 trucks coming in. They are breaking food. And what are they taking? US dollar.
Taking home.
So we are telling the government reduce the US rate. But the US rate cannot be reduced when the US rate is running behind our commodity that we consume.
All right, let's take our break there. If you're there watching, this is Youth Insight, and of course, this is a 1-hour youth platform. We're here to share our views, bring forth our activities, uncovered those positive activities that bring forth the fruitfulness of young people, and it's just 5 to 6 p.m. every Tuesday. With me is Dr. Shemin, your host, and today with the group Agrotech Liberia, specifically the Youth in Agriculture Incubation Center, and they are involved into how they can do their best possible to bring on board young people, their ideas, and how they can change their minds that agriculture is not just an ordinary profession that will benefit you not, but it has a huge benefit, or I want to say huge dividend in an economic manner. So again, if you're just watching, we want to say welcome, and after our short break, we'll be back joining the group, and they'll be telling us more as it stands to their support. Who are those coming on board for them as they gear towards their strive? What are those organizations, government, if possible, and whosoever helping them, or if it's a self initiative, they'll be telling us more after the short break. So keep watching as we come right back.
Hi, I'm Prince Larmin Jarbo, founder of Project Change. As an organization, our mission is to groom self-sustaining youth to help rebuild a productive Liberia. We change the mindsets of the youth from one that says I cannot to one that believes I can. We're proud to sponsor the Youth Insight on KMTV, presented by Zach Sherman, because we also believe in creating a platform for the young people to voice themselves. If you would like to learn more about what we do and how we do it, and how you can join the movement, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Pro Change in Liberia. or you can also visit our website at prochangeInLiberia.org. That's PROCHANGEIN Liberia. Until next time, enjoy the show.
Welcome back. This is Youth Insight. This is Young People Voice, and not just one Young People Voice, other individual voice who are into young people activities, helping young people, bring it on board, making them positive icons in society. In society, making them to feel the taste of the Jews in society, and that's welcoming if you are into such strive. We want to wholeheartedly say thanks to all those trying to bring young people on board, and we encourage for more to be done. So today for us, on Youth Inside, we have us the Aquatech Liberia Youth and Agriculture Incubation Center, and like I said earlier, they are into bringing young people on board, encouraging, having seminars, making sure that young people at college level, high school level as well, or into a practical field, know the importance and how they can go about making agriculture a fruitful perfection where Liberia can have a taste. So if they again want to say welcome, and again want to say welcome again to our guests in studio from the Aquatech Liberia.
Thank you so much, Zach. Thank you.
We've heard a lot of things from you with your interests coming from the end of the women, coming from you, Jonathan Stewart, as Executive Director or lead campaigner, if I may say. You have a lot of interests, like you've expressed, and you striving to bring ideas on board where we can have a positive dynamics on how young people look at things.
Yeah.
What is actually your back into that? Because if you're doing a thing like this, I believe you have a bit of support, or you have a self-support, or if so, what's the sustainability in what you are doing?
Well, to actually do what we're doing, it takes sacrifice, actually. You have to sacrifice a lot of things. Because for people to believe in what you're doing from this,
and I really appreciate this. You can get your voice louder.
Okay. To actually get make the impact that we all deserve as Liberians, we need to make impact from our own corners, and make sacrifice from our own corners. Because actually, for people to buy into whatever ideas you have, especially in the kind of virgin community where a lot of young people don't see this as prosperous thing, it takes sacrifice from the vision bearer. So we actually have been sacrificing financially, whatever way, to make sure that we do some of the things we do. Notwithstanding, we also have been able to get some support from people who believe what we're doing is good, even though it is seen little at this point, but they believe in that. And more especially our team members are always been open to providing whatever support in whatever way that they can be able to do, so that we can be able to achieve what minimum thing we can do as a team. So it has not been easy to get support. Actually, Liberia, if you are dependent on people to help you, at times they fail you. Like recently, our program we have in Qatar, a worthwhile event that we had. We expected people to help, but last minute time, 2 days of the program, some people will say, oh, we have a financial problem right now, the banks are not working, and this one is not working. But yet still we say we have to make sure we do what we have to do, because we are promising young people that we want to meet them, to give them new skills, give them insight on self-empowerment for themselves, self-empowerment. So we cannot delay, we cannot cancel it, because people are complaining, people are failing us. So we even have to take some money from where we did not put it, to make sure we do it in a minimum way and still make some impact. And the participant feedbacks, if you wouldn't start video, you also know what it means. So the sustainability plan has always been taking ownership. We always want to make sure that the people who engage will take ownership of what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So if we are going to Kakata, we want Kakata young people to take ownership. So we go and look for the stakeholders, like the youth leaders, the student leaders, and explain to them prior to the event, say, gentlemen, we are coming with this program, it is intended to give you this. We don't have money to give you, but we want you to actually make it happen because it is for you. So you will find out that they themselves will say, gentlemen, in fact, we'll raise this amount with ourselves. Mm-hmm. We'll contribute this. So sometimes they contribute towards what we host as a program or training. Sometimes I have to put in 80-90% financially to make sure that it is done in that minimum way. Sometimes some good Samaritans will put in something small That has been the situation. But for getting huge funding from government, from NGO is not possible yet. I don't know why. But we are still looking up to people to come and join us. This is not for us, it's not for me. It's about making sure that Liberia will graduate from the stage where we are. Because if you look at the global hunger index, we are at 37%. We are in red. What can we do to change that? We need to do something. It takes action.
Okay, it takes action. Let's talk to you, Nerisha. You join Geneton with this endeavor with all guys who are unable to have come, or maybe shouldn't have, they didn't have come because one of two reasons. You are a lady, and a lot of females who are making the mark in the society. And whereas with your ideas you're coming up with, and whatsoever you want to do, where agriculture remain a main focus to your taste. Do you care reaching out to your female who are making mark in the society, who you know that if you reach out to them, they can make that difference for you guys? Have you tried to do that as a lady, or working with your boss to do that?
Thank you, Zach. We've tried, and with the effort of our boss, we are also doing that. And we also encouraging a lot of females, like I said, even the ones that are about to graduate from the university. We are also encouraging them to come on board so that together we can make the sector a good one.
When women taking over leadership, or maybe taking on certain responsibility, where our society has traditional or custom norms and whatsoever, do you people work on that? If I may ask, especially women, where men are not really want to see women taking over leadership, taking on leadership. Making like you going into it, for example, to share your idea. What a lady comes in to tell about, do you work on those type of traditional norms as a lady going into agriculture, encouraging men?
Yes, we got something in rural sociology that says when you rural sociology extension tells you that whenever you go to the rural areas, you behave like them, you live like them, you know how to talk to them. You don't just go about making yourself a boss. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Bring yourself down on the path. Let them know that with their effort, their collective effort, you are not going there to say to overshadow them. You are going.
No, that's one thing. That's one thing.
You are not there to overshadow them. You have to make them understand. We know that it is very difficult, but there's a way to do that.
Okay.
With your patience and the vision that you have.
So, how many women have you been, or girls, have you been able to make them interested in this?
Well, we have so many girls that we are talking to. Therefore, now most people. Their thinking is all about money. You know what? Well, we all are faced with people are family people like coming up to tell somebody that I'm a volunteer. Most people don't really believe it. Mostly at this time in this country.
That's brings me to my second question. Whereas you doing this kind of a work voluntarily, how does it take encouraging someone to work voluntarily, especially in a kind of economy? You think you can achieve, or you guys can achieve that?
Yeah, with our collective efforts, we can achieve. If you have that passion, that vision, and yes, indeed, we can make the change, we all can work towards it.
Let's get to you, Geneton. We hear from your madam talking about how she going about working with women as well, coming on board, working voluntarily with you to encourage other females, young girls and boys get interested in agriculture. You have the Ministry of Agriculture, which squarely has a responsibility to help regulate agricultural activities, promote agriculture, work in the space of agriculture, and make sure that agriculture has a higher percentage in our country. And with your endeavor, with your idea coming on, how have you been working with them, specifically encouraging young people? Has that idea been accepted?
Oh, well, to be frank, we have not met officially with the ministry to put before them what we're doing and ask them for their support. We have not done that officially. What we have been doing is that we've been dealing with some members of the ministry and bringing them on board to share the expertise or give the expertise to young people who will gather at even always like training, so that whatever they know they have as expertise they can be able to share. So that has actually been happening, and it also interesting to know that right now, I don't want to be political, I'm not a politician, but the Ministry of Agriculture has been functioning without the Minister of Purple for over 6 months. So that means a lot of things are not happening because the Purple Minister is not there. A lot of programs are also on hold because the Purple Minister is not there. Sometimes you want to meet somebody and they say, no, it cannot happen now because the minister is not here, we don't have a minister. So that situation at the ministry also have been a hurt to the agriculture sector. Let me say that. And I think the government or the president needs to work on that. Because we need to be serious when we're talking about agriculture. We should need to put aside the politics and look at the security aspect of it and also the human development aspect of it. You play with the lives of people who are involved with this sector, who are also living by this sector. If you try to be adamant and also pay deaf ear to situations that they are facing. We need policies and programs that should be running at the ministry, for which we also as an institution or as a person need to be part of to push. But it is not there. It is not actually there. The only thing I think a little bit running is the programs that are donor funded, that are being run by donors. I think running about locally actually there's no program actually, and the proper minister have to come on board to design those things, use its own innovations to look at the sector and say, oh, this is what's happening, we need to find a solution. And that will be the way that you see everybody going along. You will see the whole country going along. Even institutions like the local grassroots organizations that are doing small things will also be inspired, motivated to do more. And also people will join us to do it. But if you see the policy arm and the regulatory arm is like weak and doing nothing actually, and everybody on politics, you understand that when we come among people, we say something to people, I want to believe because the government here is not the government, it's not pushing, the government is not making the strive, government is not putting words there.
Do you think with your strive, without the aid of a regulatory arm or a strong arm, which is the Ministry of Agriculture, do you think you guys will foresee what you're striving to?
That we are hopeful and we are getting there. We are making it back.
But it's frustrating.
2 years from now, we're not where we are. Yes, we're not where we are. Globally now. So I was because
that means you've been working.
We've been working independently and we've been making some strides, doing what we can do. The thing is about doing what you can do now. If we say somebody will come to make it happen, probably we'll be waiting for the next 10 years. Like some of the strides that we've been making, I was nominated in the Green Award in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, because of what we do in Liberia. So I believe that we are making strides small, and we are encouraged and we are motivated to do more. And we are talking to all organizations across the globe. Like my organization is partnering with Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network, CSYN. We're working together. And I also have other youth NGO across the globe, across Africa, that we are also in discussion with, they are working with. We are taking information from, we are partnering to do things. So really without the government support, things will happen, but we need the government. Because if the government try to design programs, say, gentlemen, these small organizations are the ones that are making impact. We want you to support them, the donors will support us. If the government say, go in the rural community, say, these organizations are the ones that come to do X, Y, Z for us, the people will respect us when we go there and they will give us the fullest support. The communities, that's what I mean. Right?
So
the government needs to come in.
So that means with
the ministry need to work up.
All of what you guys been doing, you have had community engagement and it has been receptional.
Yeah, the receptionists. When we go to the community, in fact, in Nimba in May, we had a 2-day City in Agriculture Forum where young people came from the agriculture college, came from the communities, some people came from cooperatives. We had some members of cooperatives who came and we shared with them some ideas, some technologies that are available, and it was so impactful and it was so great. And you know, what is the videos of the feedback of the participants, you will do what I'm saying, but that's it. Agriculture actually usually take place in the rural communities. So when you go there and you tell them, I have this idea that can make you to get more, they will be happy to receive.
Okay.
All right. But if they get the idea, they also need to get the strength. Like I was in India in November last year, and then India has a population of 1.4 and 1.3 million next to China. all right? 1.3 million, billion,
Billion.
billion, yeah, 1.3 billion. And you will understand with all of those people, you still have food available.
Go
You
ahead.
still have food available, accessible and affordable.
Okay.
What are they doing? They design their programs. They design their programs wherein they work with farmers for all regions, give them inputs, monitor their productions, and go and buy from them and take that to the cities and sell. The government does that. So a farmer who is producing tomato or pepper is not worried about who will buy his produce or her produce, because the government will come. The government is also monitoring that farm digitally, to the extent that whatever happens when it comes to pest infestations, when it comes to diseases and all those kind of things, the government will respond quickly because they are shareholder in the farm.
Because another thing there is that when you kind of bring people on board to invest in agriculture,
Yeah.
make their efforts known to agriculture, and that is done, and your goals are achieved. Whereas they'll be looking at what do we get in return. Whereas we've exerted our efforts to make sure that we concur with what you brought on board, the kind of interest you made us to understand about agriculture, and then doing such, maybe our harvest, where I've gone, brush my farm, clean up, do all the best of things that I'm supposed to do, where the kind of a technical knowledge Agrotech has given me, I've applied, and in time to come where I expect my profit or dividends or income, whatsoever it takes, I'm not getting it. Do you care to consider that why you are there pushing your message?
Always young people who have followed what we're doing will call me, will come to me, will find me, and they want information, they want way forward on getting involved into agriculture. And I will set it down and explain the setup to them. Tell them what are the opportunities and what are the challenges, and advise them technically as to what they can do as it relates to their capacity financially, and also as it relates to where they find themselves and what they can do to start getting something. Just yesterday I had a discussion with a young lady who just said, I just developed passion into agriculture and I want to do something, so I begin to advise her the steps to take. That's what I always do. And at our trainings, there's a course that I would always like to share with the young people: farming as a business or agriculture as a business, where we give them the concept, the principles that will make things to farm or to produce or to sell and make agriculture business and take it as a business and get profit and be able to manage it well. So there are skills that people need. Even the government, some other institutions are doing SME training and so on. This is also needed in the agriculture sector. Because if young people who are doing agribusiness or selling in the agricultural sector or working along the value chain, somebody is going to buy a plantain and come and transform it into a chips or whatever it is and sell it. That person still needs business skills to be able to manage that properly, even though the person is working along the value chain, transforming or adding value to plantain. But they need the skill, they need to know how to manage, they need to know how to make business decisions. So we also provide that in our trainings.
Let's talk to you. Whereas you're working with women and working with men, how challenging has it been for you? Whereas you're trying to make them understand the issue of agriculture, have you had the challenge? And if yes, how do you overcome those challenges so that they get your message?
Well, thank you, Zach. You sometimes find it difficult, we got people from diverse backgrounds, and you have to know how to work with them, how to talk to them. Like, for instance, you come to a person to encourage them. Sometimes they might not want to give you that attention. They don't have interest, but you got your own strategy of making them to understand what you are driving at, and lastly you will get to.
How many counties have you gone to encourage people?
For Agrotech have gone to MyDB, they have gone to NEBA, like my director said, encouraging young people, and then the research and inform, and the reception is always welcoming.
How does it feel working voluntarily, especially in a kind of area where you don't have more young people? Because it's a huge challenge. I may say, from my own little bit of experience, whereas young people want to be all alone at big self, you know, and you coming up, where are they when I really be paying, you know, you say, okay, my man, or girls or guys, let's move into this community, let's work with young people, let's encourage them, especially where you are not paying them. How does it feel, or how is it like for you, especially as a female?
Thank you, Zach. Like we say, it's challenging, but it requires sacrifice. You have to take on the sacrifice, knowing fully well that what you are involving yourself into today may yield a fruitful result for you tomorrow. You can start from nowhere, like I said from the beginning, and you go to somewhere. Like if you are not being paid today, but tomorrow you will get a reward.
Do you teach them the importance of volunteerism as well? Because it's one thing they look at.
Yes, we tell them sometimes volunteerism, they look at it from the other aspect that I'm just doing, you know, a free service where I'm not being paid, I'm not getting a good, and I'm not getting a reward. But they are not looking the other side of it. From your volunteerism, with your working relationship with people, you can be recommended. Recommendations come. So that's one of the basic reasons for which you can volunteer yourself, because knowing fully well that with your effort, your strength, and the vision and passion, you can get to somewhere.
Have you guys tried to work on people not passionate of agriculture and you bringing them on board? I know you've said that, but in our economy, it's one thing that we look at. Maybe I'll say I want to do business, and you coming to me to do agriculture. I mean, how do I transform myself into what I'm not interested into, especially for the women? And you want to talk to that?
Thank you, Zach. If you are talking to somebody who is not from the agricultural background, you can encourage them, you can convince them, and then they will get to understand that yes, indeed, what this lady is saying, it makes a sense. That today or tomorrow, I can get myself involved and I know what I will get from there. Even with that business, you can back your business with agriculture. You can back that business up with agriculture.
Maybe you want to be your businessman, you can go into agriculture.
You can go into agriculture.
It's possible you can
employ agriculturists.
Let me add to that. There's a lady working at the health ministry called Mr. Powell. First thing I'm forgetting, but she calls Mr. Powell. She lives along the ERWE road there. She's a medical professional. She's from the public health background. She works at Ministry of Health, but then she's heavily involved into agriculture. And so we paid her a farm visit last month. And I asked her, why do you have to get into this? You are a medical professional. You are involved into doing something that can give you a lot of money. And she said, you know, way back, I used to like agriculture. I used to like to plant things around my home. But then when I went for study in Nigeria, they always used to have the trainings, small trainings. And then when I have time, I just go there. So she went there, she did a snail production, she did a rabbit production. So you go at her house. Her whole yard is a farm. In Monrovia here, in Pinsbury rather. So what she does, she produces a snail, she produces a chicken, she has a lot of crops in her yard, and her whole yard is green, and she's living fresh, eating fresh. So, but she's a medical person. So what that means is that anybody can be a farmer, can get involved into farming, can get involved into agribusiness as a profession and also as a backup or a secondary income opportunity or platform. So you can be a journalist, you can still get involved. You don't have the technical skill when it comes to production, you can acquire that. You can also bring people on board to do that. Yeah, your money can farm for you. Your hand could farm for you, and also your money can farm for you. And you eat fresh food, live fresh and live healthy because of your money. All right? And that is what other people are doing across the globe. The money I find the Honorable Edwin Snow. Edwin Snow is not a farmer, he didn't go to school for that. But his money and his position is everything is farming for him. If you go Bombi right now, he has a big farm there. He's working with the people, he produces a lot of things. And Honorable Benayu also used to do that. You know, even in Nigeria, you go there, you see the big guys, the senators, the honorables, the millionaires, they have a farm. They go there, they eat fresh food, they stay there, they have a good time. And they sell some of the produce to the local community. They boost the local economy right there. That's what we need to do. But in Liberia, most of our business ideas and business always look on the other side, maybe doing other things that don't look dirty. But probably you don't have to be dirty to be a farmer. You don't have to be dirty to grow, to feed yourself, to feed the nation.
We out of time. Let's hear from you, our only lady here so far, and I hope to bring more ladies to come and talk about agriculture. What do you really want as a lady coming up to agriculture? What is actually your expectation before we get to your conclusion?
Thank you, Zach. My expectation as an agriculturist will be having more food production in Liberia, earning zero hunger, getting more young people, mostly the women, involved into agricultural activities.
All right, let's talk to you. What are you guys interested? I mean, what do you really want as an agriculturalist, as someone who is making young people coming on board? What do you really want? And don't mistake my question as certain question we know.
I know. what I want to see is that I want to see young people in power, where they can make financial decisions on their own through the agriculture sector. I want to see our country producing tomatoes and packaging it and shipping it to other countries led by young people. I want to see unemployment reduced, where young people will get jobs along the agriculture value chain. I want to see a country where we will not be in the red when it comes to global hunger. We will not be in the red when it comes to importing. Now, the statistics says about 35 billion a year Africa's import when it comes to food. 35 billion every year. So if that 35 billion remains in Africa, also and some remain in Liberia, like we can always do heavily.
We want to say about 40%.
Yeah. You can take that because 75%.
And that will be determined by the kind of effort you guys are exerting.
Yeah, sure. So what we're doing now is to make sure that young people participation increase and young people's skills are built, so that they can be able to produce. You don't have to go on the farm. For example, young people here who are into business schools, like you are graduating students, thousands of students tomorrow, right? Some of them did economics, accounting, and they are coming to sit down in this bar economy and wait. But I can give them small idea they can use in the agriculture sector or along the value chain, and they can start make small things, and with their own innovations and effort and commitment and sacrifice, you find out that they become some of the millionaires around here through agriculture. Because there is so much potential, brother. Like for snail farming, a lot of people are not doing snail farming. Rabbit farming, a lot of people are not doing it. People are not transforming. So many things here, people are not transforming. There are so much problem in the agriculture sector that can transform to a profitable solution for yourself.
Especially young people.
Like 2020, I intend to do personally, not agriculture. I intend to do some solution that will make it profitable for me.
Now we'll be wishing for a production.
Okay.
We'll count down our fund.
No problem. No problem.
Okay, let's get our parting statement. We're out of time. Let's hear from our lady. What can you say as a concluding statement from the end of what you're doing to the end of the young people, women, government, NGO with their partners as well? Let's get a concluding statement. Let's start with you.
Thank you once again. Well, I would like to conclude by saying, firstly, thanks for hosting us. And then I would like to encourage more females to come on board to Agrotech, most especially our friends that will be coming out of the walls of the University of Liberia tomorrow. I encourage them to come on board. Let us not put the issue of money first. Put your interest and vision first. Then you will know what to get.
All right, put your interest first, your passion first, and of course you will get your vision, your passion, and your interest. I mean, everything gearing to certain positivity, right? All right, let's hear from you, our lead campaigner when it comes to agriculture. We hope that you do more. Let's hear your concluding statement from the end of government, from the end of the Agrotech, and that of your partners as well.
We want to say thank you to the management of KMDV for this opportunity to be here to share with Liberians and the world large what we're doing. And we also want to say to the people out there, we are doing something that is not profiting us. We're not getting any profits at all when it comes to what we're doing. What we're doing is to make sure that Liberia graduates from a stage of dependency on imported food, and also to reduce unemployment, and also to direct our young people's attention and interest in a sector that is so vibrant and virgin. That's what we're doing. And we need the support of the government. We want the Ministry of Agriculture to be proactive, to also call us or make us, share with us ideas or other things that we can do to make sure we make our little impact. They may not have the money, but they have the ideas. Maybe they have a program. They say, gentlemen, you guys are doing something for the young people. This is what we want. You can do it. They can even call and say, this is what we want you to do, and work with the young people through this means, or do this. And we can do that. We are open up to that. But we want to see a proactive Ministry of Agriculture that other countries are doing. Like Rwanda is doing, Rwanda is really doing well when it comes to agriculture. Even Nigeria, our superpower in West Africa, heavily depends on agriculture for their GDP and also for so many things that they do. So we can also do that. We're also calling on the non-governmental organizations and other organizations that are in the agriculture sector or in the youth sector, that you can empower young people through agriculture, so you can join us. You can also raise the bar when it comes to the standard of living of rural communities dwellers through the services that we are providing, the capacity building, giving them the skills that they need to increase their production. And as the production increases, you will understand that their income will increase and they will make money, they will send their children to school, and so many things will happen. So we are opening up to anything. Next year is going to be a great time that young people will benefit from our services, because we are going blast. We are increasing everything we did this year to another level, and we hope
you
that
sharing to us your term, your things you have on board, maybe your
Okay.
long time order
So-
quickly.
yes.
And furthermore, how can someone get to you if you want to
Okay.
get agro-tech Liberia?
Yeah.
How can they get to you?
first, in the long term, we want to have a UV agriculture farm that will produce a lot of things, and it is intended to produce to sell to the local market. 1, 2, to also give practical knowledge and skills to young people who are into agriculture, so that when they come from the classroom, they will not just sit down, because companies are not employing people because they don't know what to do. Learning in the classroom and learning in the field is another thing. Most of our agriculture institutions don't have the practical site and training where young people can get. So that farm is good in the long range now. That farm will be there to make sure that young people get the practical skills when it comes to production, whether animal production, crop production, or aquaculture. And also, we intend to open a vocational training just for agriculture alone, so that in the context wherein young people will go there, get a skill, even older people, whoever will go there, you get a skill for a few months, you go back and you try to do that, and the production aspect will increase. Because what we need to do now, we need to align our agriculture production activity with climate adaptation. So what we're going to be teaching now is climate smart agriculture and the practices that they can use to be able to reduce greenhouse gas emission, as well as increasing the production. That's what we're doing. That's our long-term plan. And for next year, we will be hosting series of trainings, series of events. In fact, in January, we'll be starting with our Let's Use campaign. It's a whole month of campaign, educating, reaching out to people, telling them the importance of investing in the agriculture sector to stabilize our own national securities, and so on and so on. So we're also coming up with a snail farming training, a rabbit farming training this year. So we decided to make some mobilization for that
that's
already.
great. That's great.
Yeah.
So shortly, how can someone contact you? Or
You can go online. Our website is online, agrotechlb.org, and then we have a Facebook page. You can go there, Agrotech Liberia. You can get us there. Also, the phone numbers are 0880950-178.
You want to read that?
080950178. Or my personal number is 0776-125-390. 0776-125-390. Our emails also is agrotechliberia@gmail.com. You can reach us. Just go and Google Agrotech Liberia. You'll see our information. You'll see some of the things we've been doing. You can also get to our website. We have a platform. Let me briefly say about our website. Our website has a platform there, or the portal there, that has to do with students. So students go there and you can download resources. Our training manuals are all there. You can go and just download it and you read through. And then our website also has a component called the Agribusiness Hub that feature producers and people who are producing on the farm and people who are selling agricultural produce. So you can go there and get the contact details, what they are producing, what they are selling, and you can just get them, and then you can reach them easily. That's the way of promoting the agriculture sector on our website.
all right, thank you very much. It was a great time having you guys from Agrotech Liberia, and we hope that your dreams and aspiration comes to reality. So you are again want to say thanks for coming to KMTV.
Thank you. I want to say to the KMTV family, thank you, and we also want to encourage you to do something whether you buy a garlic or something, way inventor, you can do something. Grow something and let all of us eat fresh food.
So you-
the typhoid, the malaria, everything can you
So maybe
KTV also can invest. But KTV can sponsor us.
That's a great recommendation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
our very strong man lady. Sorry, I'm not sure of it, but however, that's it.
That's good.
So thank you for being there. This is how we come to the end of Youth Insight, and of course, we care to share our values where we are involved into our activities that has positive impact. And you can see that young people are not just young people. I can boast of our vibrant society when it comes to young people. Young Liberia is blessed with beautiful and good-minded young people, whereas they are able to bring forth those positive things. And we must say thanks to Acrotech Liberia for being one of the backbones when it comes to involving young people in agriculture. And we hope that their quest can be heard, their cries can be heard. I mean, when these things are coming on board and you are there as stakeholders, as decision makers, and you're not making a difference, what happens to our society? How can young people be encouraged when they see their fellow coming up with their cries, with their activities, with their recommendations, and yet to be responded to? There's no way to answer them. And you as leaders, just sit back, enjoy yourself. You don't have to be in government. Maybe you have some hand where you're not involved in agriculture. How can you come on board? It's an encouragement that you there doing something, maybe have fines, but not encourage, not into agriculture. It is an encouragement that you come on board, like Acrotech Liberia and other Liberians who are involved into agriculture. You can come on board, empower them, make them to feel the reality of what they want to do, and you can be beneficial to that, and not just you, the country at large. So it's something that you have to look forward, leaders, stakeholders, our partners, our international partners or development partners into whatsoever sector, especially the agriculture sector. It is a core, let's say an SOS core, that you can make the difference, provided if you can, and we know that you can. So it is there that you do the difference, make the reality, make people feel what it takes to have a agricultural society, whereas the economy can be a boostful one. So again, I want to say thanks for being there. My name is Zach Totiama-Shimin, and I've been here with Acrotech Liberia. With us have been Jonathan Stewart, and of course Narisha Menimon, if I'm not getting it right, but I hope you heard that later on. So we want to say thanks for being there, and we hope that we join you next time on our broadcast on Youth Insight. Again, do have yourself a wonderful time. And before we go, let me remind you that our sponsorship doors are still open. You can call us on 0770-017702, and I want to say again 0770-017702. Thanks to Project Change, headed by Prince Jebel, who have been helping us in the process. Until then, we catch you on another edition of Youth Insight.
Hi, I'm Prince Larmin Jarbo, founder of Project Change. As an organization, our mission is to groom self-sustaining youth to help rebuild a productive Liberia. We change the mindsets of the youth from one that says, I cannot, to one that believes, I can. We're proud to sponsor the Youth Insight on KMTV, presented by Zach Sherman, because we also believe in creating a platform for the young people to voice themselves. If you would like to learn more about what we do and how we do it, and how you can join the movement, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Pro Change in Liberia. Or you can also visit our website at prochangeInLiberia.org. That's PROCHANGEIN Liberia. Until next time, enjoy the show.